It's hard to tell how long we'll last as the fools who run the Krusty Cast. Ahoy, everyone! I'm Jazz.
Don't cringe that. That was good. That was a good intro.
I liked it. I liked
Dang,
it.
have to be rude right off the bat. Everyone's a critic. Anyway, hi, I'm Jasmine. I am one of the people who runs the Krusty Cast, alongside the rest of my Krusty crew.
I'm Maddie. I also run the Krusty Cast, and I'm not Jasmine.
I'm Gwen. I'm here too, and I might be Jasmine.
You aren't. Stop trying to steal my identity.
I'm Randall. I'm here. I'm my own person.
That's
Hey.
right, you are. So today we're going to be talking about the Season 1 episodes Bubble Stand and Ripped Pants.
Everybody loves these episodes. They're classics. One more so than the other, but they're both classics.
Everyone loves all these episodes. They're all classics, but yeah, this is a good package.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Do we just...
Alright, so how do we want to start? Do we just want to get into it? Get into Bubble Stand?
Yeah, I guess we just get into Bubble Stand. Unless we have like some SpongeBob news we want to talk about.
Do we?
I
there
don't
any-
think there's any notable SpongeBob news right now. I know they were doing a bunch of premieres earlier in the month, but I don't think there's any more now, so...
Cool.
Big SpongeBob news. The Patrick Star Show still on the air. Camp Coral probably still making new episodes.
I think Camp Coral's been delegated to Paramount Plus at this point.
Plankton's in the fighting game. That's pretty funny.
Oh
that's
yeah,
cool.
the
Yeah.
fighting game.
Big Larry
He's a-
news.
He's
Oh,
in
yeah, Big
Tekken
Larry.
8.
I'm big. Okay, we're not there yet. I gotta stop myself from singing it.
I think Larry's a jerk and we can't trust him, and when we get there, we'll
Are
have
you gonna be
nothing but that.
we can.
He's too fucking big.
Dude,
Get him out of here.
we need to save our Larry discourse
Yeah,
for the
hold
Larry
on.
episode.
Yeah,
Fair enough,
let's-
fair enough.
Let's do Bubble Stand first.
I think this is kind of indicative of how I feel about these episodes, though.
Real teaser there. Alright, how does this thing start?
We pan into the... It's kind of like how Help Wanted starts, where we pan past some, like, coral reefs and stuff.
Yeah, very scenic.
And then
No French narrator in this one, though.
SpongeBob comes out of his house, and he walks into the... And he sees a scallop flying around. There's a scallop. And he's like, wow, a scallop.
He doesn't say
Scallop?
that.
And then he's
Scallops or
he
clams
pa-
that are birds?
yeah, and he pauses for a second, and then he, like, reaches off-screen to get his materials, his funny materials. And he starts hammering away at them.
This goes absolutely fucking ham.
Yeah, I'm putting that on screen right now. There we go.
It's a
SpongeBob.
well-paced little scene where he's so tranquil that he just makes like
Yeah.
a ruckus. It's not like an obnoxious ruckus to us, but it's very effective at being
Yeah,
like
I think
satisfying construction noises that belay the point that this is a fucking racket.
Yeah.
I
Can we
mean,
say fuck
I
on this
think-
show?
it makes sense that if it's a beautiful day outside, that's the optimal time to go outside and start building shit.
Yeah.
I-
It's a beautiful day.
What my first note is, why is SpongeBob doing this?
Yeah, I don't...
Yeah, that's the thing. There's like not much like motivation. Sometimes he just starts making a bubble stand. I guess like he just wanted to have fun and playing.
But maybe that'd work if there was more than 3 characters in this episode. Like maybe an incidental fish comes by and says, bubble stand, that's interesting. I will give you 25 of my sea cents to blow a bubble.
He
Yeah,
started the
you
day
know
with
this
a
episode-
mission.
You know what this episode reminds me of?
Uh,
This episode reminds me of an episode of Bluey. It's just like SpongeBob and Patrick playing a little game, and Squidward doesn't really get it, but he like gets into it eventually.
You know, that I think this is like the first episode in a lineage of that sort of Sponge, because there's a lot of episodes like
Yeah.
that. Like later down the line, you'd have stuff like the paper and snowball effect and idiot box. For
Yeah.
a more recent example, I think there's life insurance. There's a lot of those. SpongeBob and Patrick do something silly. Squidward's like, oh, whatever. But then he secretly really wants to join in, and he has way
Yeah.
too much fun, and it causes his downfall.
This episode feels like a very like early beta version of Idiot Box to me.
I literally have that in
Yeah.
my notes. This is like it's just proto idiot bots and a lot of like plot beats in this episode.
Anyway, so SpongeBob starts building his thing, and it pans up to Squidward's house, and he is not happy about this. He is in his little black void zone, his little black void window, and he's like, I hate this. Too
So-
loud.
So mad it turns his jaw square.
Yeah! I think
It's kinda like
probably
if it,
all
like-
of us have in our notes of like, wow, why is his mouth like this? What the hell?
They kind of give him like
I didn't put
Donald
that in
Duck
my
mouth.
notes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't put that in my notes, but I didn't write like a lot of animation notes.
Yeah.
It's and I did see the frame where Squidward does his FNAF jump scare.
Oh yeah, let me get that one. Hold on. That one's in the Discord, I think. Let me scroll up and get this. Yeah, there we go.
Squidward couldn't pay his electric bill, so he's stuck in eternal darkness every time we pan up to him from the streets. But something that I do want to kind of bring up about this episode. This is the one that really defines Squidward as a character, I think, because we
Yeah.
get like all of his major beats. We get
Mhm.
his art, we get his clarinet, we get how much he hates living between SpongeBob and Patrick.
Yeah,
It-
we get how he's like a
I had-
cynic and a grump, but he actually like secretly wants to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
not really something I'd noticed, but you're right.
I doing this like critically, going through this like chronologically, it's like I'm noticing a lot of formative things for the show going forward. Like we barely got anything in Help Wanted for Squidward, and we got nothing in Reflower besides he enjoys eating terrible salads, but like
His core trait.
Yeah. He likes
Something
horrible
else.
salads.
Imagine
there-
if in recent episodes they just gave Squidward an awful salad in
I
every
was-
episode.
I was gonna say in the next season they're referencing everything already. They're gonna reference his salad in the next one.
Yeah.
But Squidward's not having it. SpongeBob's making a racket out there. He's just throwing him off his groove there.
And now this is SpongeBob keeps building because Squidward's playing his clarinet, and then Squidward is like, this is the scene where he gets on Blue's Clues, but that's not important. He's like,
What do
why
you
would
mean
I
by
ever
that?
blow bubbles?
What do you mean by
I mean,
that?
first he asks SpongeBob to lower the volume, and SpongeBob's just like very slowly hammering the nail
Yeah.
and looking back.
This like starts a trend in this episode where like pretty much every joke in the episode, or like at least half of them, are like just something takes a very long time.
Yeah,
And
that's
nothing
something I
really happens.
noticed where it's another. I'm gonna just say it right off the bat. I think this episode's biggest weakness is pacing again, which I think is kind of a thing in these very early episodes.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yeah.
an episode where I feel like a lot of jokes really get drawn out, and like I think lots of the sequences individually are pretty funny, but you notice them all in this episode and you're like, wow, that's
Yeah,
a lot
really-
of really drawn out jokes for one
Yeah.
episode.
See,
Yeah,
it's
like I'm thinking about the joke where Patrick is like trying to blow the bubble. This is a bit ahead, but he's trying to blow the bubble. and like,
Yeah.
and he just goes at it for like 30 seconds. And
Yeah. It's like really fun animation, really good like drawings, but it's like it's like one of like half a dozen jokes like that in the episode where something just takes a long time.
Yeah, it's like not only do a lot of these episodes, okay, a lot of these jokes, like, they go on forever. They're also repeated.
Yeah.
So
we kind of get like two different jokes where characters can't blow a bubble, and we have like two like times where they reuse the technique, and then they have Squidward do the technique.
Yeah, the technique.
Also, you're making
done,
noise
like,
with your
3
chair,
times.
by the way.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hold on. Okay. All right.
And it's like people struggling to blow a bubble takes up at least a full minute of this 11-minute episode.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I still would overall lean positive on this episode at the end. I mean, we still have a lot to go, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's definitely like a running thing in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we get to see Patrick in his really cool gamer pad.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize
he crushes all of it.
I didn't realize like it was like a running gag that he fell off his rock in the first season. Like I noticed in the first episode, but he does it again.
Yeah, I took a note of that also. Is that just gonna be a thing for this season?
It never gets old. They love this.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to be a thing. It's just funny that
he does it.
Patrick's always... The reason Patrick's house always looks different is he has to buy new furniture because he's always a gag falling into it.
Yeah.
And then he goes over to SpongeBob and he's like, "Hey, SpongeBob, you doing something cool over here?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're doing the bubble stand, Patrick."
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the little like exchange they have where like Patrick doesn't have a quarter, so SpongeBob gives him a quarter to give to him. And like their like voices are like, perhaps I will blow bubbles at your bubble stand. That will be 20. It's like they're just playing a little game here.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
I like that SpongeBob checks his own quarter to make sure it's not fake.
Yeah.
I mean, he got it from...
No, you go ahead.
He got it from Mr. Krabs. I mean, how real can it possibly be?
True, and we will come back to that later in this episode.
And I want to give a shout out to whoever drew Patrick in this episode. They nailed it. Patrick is really well drawn in this episode, I think.
He's so Peter Griffin season 1.
I do like how... I like how when he's trying to... As long as that joke of him trying to blow the bubble does go on for a while, but I like how in some parts he just fucking has a rib cage. Like it just shows like the outline. Hold on, let me get a picture of this.
Patrick's all emaciated and really uncomfortable to look at.
It's a really well animated sequence.
Mm-hmm. A really long, well-animated.
That's just the point I'm gonna give in this episode's favor.
Yeah, it's really well animated.
It's definitely a pretty visually heavy It's definitely an episode pretty reliant on its visuals, and I think the animators did a really good job here.
Yeah, they got some SpongeBob Sakuga moments.
And Patrick just struggles to blow that bubble for I want to say 15 to 20 seconds.
Yeah. Multiple shots back and forth.
Yeah. I do also like the bit where SpongeBob silently puts up the lesson sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SpongeBob's running a scam right here. Pretty much.
It'd be a scam if he wasn't also paying people the money they need to.
I really love his floating eyebrows.
Oh, I didn't notice that, but you're right. We're still in flesh eyebrow territory. Is flesh spike brows, and I really appreciate that. And I have in my notes, I wrote this down because I really like how the line is delivered when Patrick goes, 1/4. It's like, season 1 Patrick is, it is just season 1 Peter. They took his cuteness away as it went on.
He's just cute. He's very, like, gentle.
He's very likable. He's just, you would trust him, all things considered. But what happens next? Squidward's not having it. Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
There's something important
First,
that comes before
Patrick
that.
needs his bubble lessons, so he takes a quarter from SpongeBob to give it back so he can learn the technique.
Yeah, the technique is like the star of the episode. It's like definitely the memorable part of the episode you quote all the time as a kid.
Yeah, like, this is one of the few episodes I had on VHS as a kid. So lots of the sound design and stuff in this episode is burned into my memory.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't recite the technique from memory by myself.
I like how halfway through he just stops giving them names. Just this and that and this.
Okay, so here's a question. Did any of you try to, like, do the in real life?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've definitely hurt myself imitating SpongeBob a couple times as a kid.
Did it work? Were you able to blow bubbles that way?
I'm gonna be blunt, I don't think I was even doing it while blowing bubbles. I just think I wanted to also do the technique because it was fun.
I remember me and my sister were blowing bubbles as, like, kids, and I'm like, hey, watch me do this. I'm gonna do the technique. I completely fucked it up. It was just embarrassing, and I don't even think I made that big a bubble either.
Yeah, I would, like, do the technique as a kid, and, like, it wouldn't work because, like, in doing it would, like, make all the, like, water fall off of my bubble wand, and then it just wouldn't get any bubble.
And if I were to say, I think I disappointed SpongeBob pretty hard. Because
he'd be happy that you try your best.
No, I've definitely forsaken him, and there's no salvation for me. I hated the caterpillar as a kid.
You're going to sponge hell.
Weird. Another weird childhood story related to this. The bubble caterpillar here. This thing freaked me out as a kid because of, like, the sound design they gave it afterwards.
Yeah.
As I said, that sound design is burned into my memory.
I love the sound design in this episode with all the, like, different noises the bubbles make when they pop.
I like how I completely forgot that this is where this laugh came from, but right after it fucking dies and Patrick does a laugh, and that laugh is sampled so many times in so many, like, media. Or like the yeah, I can't even do it. It's just me coughing.
I definitely
like how
think
Patrick was violently coughing in Tea at the Tree, though.
Yeah.
Well, Maddie, we need to record more lines for Tea at the Tree Dome 2. Give us your best take. Terrible, you're fired.
And then after that, after this, yes, SpongeBob blows a big boat bubble, and it flies up into the sky, and it blows up, and it goes.
It makes his alarm clock noise.
Yeah, and Squidward has to check his clarinet because he's like, "Did I what? What the hell?" Yeah. But then SpongeBob tries the two-handed technique and blows a big giraffe.
2 hands. It's a giraffe, yeah.
SpongeBob is like a dark sorcerer in this episode. Because
he can make light.
Reality warping.
He's creating the light.
Okay, this is, like, something I want to, like, a little talk about because I think it's gonna be a recurring theme. I like to call this the, like, imagination reality theorem, which is, like, fundamental to early SpongeBob because he's, like, full of, like, so much imagination and childhood, like, wonder. He can just, like, do this shit that shouldn't work, and it does. It's like what this episode and, like, Idiot Box and stuff are all about.
Oh, I like that actually.
It's how he has the pants room dimension in his home.
I don't think that's how he has the pants room dimension, but maybe.
And
I think that's just a
as we'll
cartoon
see-
thing.
And as we'll see in the next episode, he's really good at sand sculptures, which
Yeah, I
is
was gonna
more
say.
possible, but probably not at that speed. And
I'll get more to that when we get to the episode. Also, I want to say I really like the circus music with the giraffe.
Yeah.
yeah.
And we see that SpongeBob can't control his dark powers because he sent his creation into Squidward's home,
Yeah.
and it causes supposedly major damage.
He doesn't want to control it. He just wants to create.
Yeah.
He's red color identity, not blue in Magic the Gathering. Keep that in mind.
So then after that, the bubble stand is closed.
The episode ends.
Yeah.
I love the sequence of the bubble stand being closed, and they're just like meekly hiding behind it. And they're just...
Excuse me, sir, but we are closed.
yeah. Like, SpongeBob's just trying to escape accountability here. He wants no part of Squidward's wrath.
For not even the last time in this episode, SpongeBob escaping accountability for his actions.
Yeah.
SpongeBob blows an elephant.
And
Wrath.
I'm thinking
I'm sorry.
about it. Nobody underwater would know what an elephant is.
No, yeah.
Yeah, we can't really fault Patrick too much here.
That's true.
So after this, Squidward comes up to the stand, and he's like, what are you guys doing? And how could this thing create so much noise, blowing bubbles? And you're like, we're not just blowing bubbles, we're making bubble art. And
So this
so
is a
SpongeBob,
question I have.
Yeah.
Did they specifically frame it as bubble art to appeal to Squidward?
I don't think so. I feel like SpongeBob just really thinks this is art to him.
I agree, but that is something that just crossed my mind.
Well, I
And
mean,
so,
he
See,
probably
the thing is, I
knows-
feel like SpongeBob wouldn't realize that Squidward thinks bubbles are lame, or that he prefers art. I think he would think that everyone loves bubbles, you know?
or he just be like, "Hey, Squidward, I'm just like you. I'm also making art out here."
I don't think SpongeBob has that much awareness of the people's interests in the world around him because of the autism.
Fair enough.
So true.
anyway, after that, SpongeBob, for the second time in the episode, to demonstrate to Squidward, does the technique. And it cuts to Squidward a couple times, watching the technique. And he's mostly just, not impressed, but, at some point in the bringing it around town, he just makes this face, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Why did he do
mean
that?
by this?
What happened that made him do that?
Come eat your
Putting
Squid
this
Bob
on-
crumbs.
You should wait
Yeah.
for the pelvic thrusts, Squidward.
Oh, yeah.
He was unimpressed by the pelvic thrust, I think.
God.
What he's really into is bringing it around town.
I don't know if we've passed it yet already, but I want to talk about Squidward's flesh pocket where he pulls the quarter out of.
Yes, hold on. I have a screenshot of that from last
Oh
night.
yeah.
Yeah, let me get that. Where is it? God. Yeah.
A little
come on,
disturbing.
Squidward. Come on, Squidward, don't fail me. Oh yeah, there it is. There we
Squidward came
go.
to you at his time.
There we go.
It's so gross.
So gross.
You know, he should probably invest in some pants, frankly, because nobody
Yeah.
needs to see that. Nobody needs to see that.
Why are you
And then-
shaming him for his
Anyway.
body?
Then SpongeBob blows a butterfly, which goes onto Squidward's head and then does this.
Just like a
Deals-
flashbang.
Flashbang. Yeah, I literally have it in my notes as like butterfly flashbang in all caps.
God,
It
this should be
deals-
like a projectile attack in Nick All-Star Brawl.
That deals explosive damage to him.
But only Squidward.
Like harp noises the butterfly makes also.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Anyway,
Again,
then
really great
Squidward
sound
goes-
design in this episode.
Squidward goes, "Who? This is stupid." And then SpongeBob and Patrick go, "Man." And then they're like this.
Oh yeah, I forgot this sequence.
Yeah. And then they both walk back into SpongeBob's house.
You should both
Yeah,
be
they
ashamed.
do, huh?
Squidward just shames them, like,
Yeah.
hard for it.
And then SpongeBob's room just looks like this, with like a single door. Yeah.
Where do you think the door leads?
The pants room dimension.
No,
But
it
only
leads
when you're looking at it like this.
It leads to the room in Battle for Bikini Bottom where you get your first golden spatula.
Oh my god,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
right.
Also, yeah. And then like Squidward like, blowing bubbles. They like picks up the bubble wand and they immediately manifest.
Yeah,
They like
I love that so
don't even miss a
much.
beat. That's such a good frame. Only 25
love-
cents.
I love that SpongeBob.
And then SpongeBob tries to pitch his lessons to
Yeah.
Squidward.
This Squidward just makes like the most cringe bubbles, and I think it's interesting that like Patrick and SpongeBob seem like they're like trying not to laugh at first before they like look away and whistle.
Yeah. And SpongeBob knows his theme exists. He does that. He whistles his theme.
I didn't even notice
Hold
that.
on. Something I need to point out is I think it's time to circle back to Squidward's fake quarter.
Yes. So Mr.
Because
Krabs
Squidward-
pays Squidward in fake quarters.
Yeah, because Squidward hands SpongeBob a quarter, and SpongeBob observes to look if it's real, and it's not.
Yeah.
Bends it with his teeth and everything. But SpongeBob doesn't feel like pointing it out because, well, he likes Squidward.
He's not in there for the money. Okay, so do you think like Mr. Krabs pays Squidward in fake quarters, or if Squidward intentionally gave him a fake quarter because he doesn't respect him?
Yeah, I think
I
he just
think-
did this to fuck with him.
Yeah, I think both are
Yeah.
kind of
It could be a little bit of both.
Which raises the question of Squidward's counterfeit quarter operation.
Well,
Where's
we'll
he
get into that
getting
with like the
this?
newspaper episode, maybe.
Oh shit, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
Mr. Krabs learned how to print out dollar bills, and
And then we get another 15 to 20 second sequence of Squidward
Yeah.
blowing a bubble and sucking shit at it.
yeah, I
We-
love SpongeBob and Patrick just desperately trying to explain the technique to him. I especially love
woo.
Patrick.
Well,
The pelvic woo!
I think this works well as like the climax of the episode because it's like the two types of jokes in the episode are
Yeah.
characters not being good at blowing bubbles and SpongeBob explaining the technique, and it's both of them happening at once. So
Yeah.
And then Squidward.
Oh, so something I noticed while looking through the gallery for this wiki on Encyclopedia SpongeBobia is that for like one frame you see this card.
What card? Hold on. Let me look.
Hold on, I posted it in the
Oh,
live chat
what?
channel.
What?
Wait,
Yeah, this like
Hold on.
production
Yeah, let me
card.
look this on. Let me put this on
Wait.
stream. What the heck?
what is this?
Huh.
don't forget the woo.
forget the woo.
SpongeBob is filmed in front of a live audience.
Oh my god!
We used to add this to
Is
the
this
iceberg.
lore?
Lore?
I mean, I guess you have the French narrator, and the narrator is like a real guy, as we learn later on.
Yeah, I don't
That-
know.
Yeah, put that on the iceberg. Put that on the very bottom layer.
That's
and like
weird.
one piece of sound design that's always stuck with me in this episode is Squidward going technique, 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 technique.
Yeah.
That's not really sound design so much as like the other like good sound thing, which is that Squidward's like voice acting is so fucking it like carries this episode.
I like how his neck
True.
looks in that scene because it just goes to a point. Like, let me take a picture of this.
What is with that?
Like he's just
He's being strangled right here.
like, yeah. And
Yeah.
during the he does the technique, and there's a lot of
Up
good
on your
frames here.
right. Don't
There's a lot of
forget
good
it.
frames here. So I'm gonna have to put them all on screen. Hold on. Okay, I've got them here. Yeah. Okay, so frame number 1, yeah, he does this.
Yes, wide word.
Frame number 2, he does this.
Gygus!
Squidward.
Me when I'm playing the PlayStation and I want to press the triangle button. He looks so happy.
It's like a joyous Squidward.
What if Squidward just was in the triangle shape for the rest of the show?
They
Never
should do
changed
an
back.
episode where it's revealed that Squidward's only happy in the triangle shape.
God. Okay, I gotta put these down here, or they'll gonna take up too much space.
I mean, part of your face still isn't blocked out.
I also want to bring up before we completely bypass it. I love the stock fart sounds when Squidward's bubbles
Yes.
blow up.
We've heard that exact sound maybe 5 times already now in this. It's so good.
That is my favorite stock fart noise, honestly.
So, something I want to bring up for Squidward doing the technique is that when I was a kid, I thought he said, "Stop on your pie foot. Don't forget it."
Why would he say that?
I think my child brain logic was Squidward has 4 feet, so he's gonna be stepping on something that isn't necessarily his right foot, so it's his pie foot.
Yeah, Squidward, he blows his funny bubble, and he's like, and then he gets lifted up in the air, and it seems like he's gonna go, but, he drops off. And then he gets a lot of praise from SpongeBob and Patrick, and it's in his genes.
It wasn't the technique, it's in the genes.
Yeah, Squid's got genes.
Squid's got genes! Squid's got genes! Okay, and this means more child Jasmine misinterpretations, because I thought it was genes as in Jeans, and the joke was
See, I think...
the
I think
joke
part
is
of the
that
joke.
he doesn't...
I think that's how SpongeBob and Patrick interpreted it.
Yeah.
Yeah? And the joke is that Squidward doesn't wear pants because he has his disgusting flesh pockets.
Yeah,
Of course. We wish he wore jeans. The episode also once again ends on a joke where characters are just doing the same thing for a very long time.
Yeah. Squidward.
Oh yeah, the fucking changes in intonation there are burned into my head.
Yeah.
Squidward.
Squidward!
I rock.
Okay, but this is
Yeah,
the most interesting
honestly,
part
I
of the
gotta
episode to
say
me is
it.
the ending.
Squidward's clarinet playing here honestly isn't that bad.
No.
Usually his clarinet playing sucks ass, but he's kind of going at it there.
This is what I want to talk about. This is the most interesting part of the episode. Is how it starts off in the beginning of the episode. He's playing the clarinet, and it sounds bad as usual. Then after this, he goes in and he starts fucking killing it on the clarinet, and it's fucking awesome. But then the bubble takes over his house, and he flies away and drops it, and he feels defeated, and then he plays the clarinet again. And it sounds bad. It's such interesting characterization for Squidward. What he really needs is to feel supported and good at something, and have the confidence to be good at his art, because he's so cynical and secluded. His art is always going to be bad unless he
Yeah.
Hold on, I love that actually.
I really like the scene here where of course SpongeBob is seeing what the bubble is doing.
Yeah.
But Patrick is still singing, and SpongeBob's gotta be
Yeah,
hey
nudge
buddy.
him.
Hey buddy. Look.
I also love this. After it pops, they look at each other just heesh,
Yeah.
and then they'll just silently walk away.
Yeah. And they just
they
speed
fucking
up.
peace out.
Yeah.
Dodging
Yeah.
accountability again.
Yeah. Oh
The
yeah, and
bubble
I want to bring up
takes
here
control.
during this we get an overhead shot of the neighborhood, and we actually see like a road going off, and there's like
We
Yeah.
need to talk about Bubble House. We need to talk about Rake House.
we need to talk about the bottle house. Yeah.
I didn't even notice Rake House.
What is
I
Rake
mean, I
House?
think that's just like,
I mean, there's a rake.
think
I don't know if
that's
it's a house, but it's a big rake.
I don't know, it just looks like the road leading up to a
Oh,
small
it's like a
three
rake to
houses.
me.
house.
I thought that was a rake. Never mind.
That's
I don't know what it's
okay.
leading to, though.
It does look kind of like a rake from a distance, doesn't it?
I do notice off to the right, there's like what seems to be like 2 more people or something near that one house, like kind of on the same road as I don't know.
You think they're
whatever
blowing their
that
own
is.
bubbles?
Probably.
Yeah, they're having their own separate adventure.
This is like, I know we kind of like were out this discussion last time, but these like far away shots of these random bikini bottom houses before the show's like setting was established are so liminal.
Hmm.
It's just
I like that some of them had a driveway going to them, but a lot of them didn't.
Yeah.
well, they still need to get their license from Mrs. Puff's boating school.
See, this is called a walkable city.
Anyway,
But-
something I want to bring up is this is one of 2 episodes where the ending involves 2 episodes from this season where the ending involves Squidward getting carried away by a giant bubble.
Yeah.
I was honestly confused that the ending scene for that episode was in this one, and I forgot that the house getting carried away was the one for this one.
Mm-hmm.
I like that
Yeah.
when I like that when the really big bubble pops, it also makes a farting sound.
Of course.
I mean, it was still blown by Squidward, so what
Mhm.
else would you expect?
That's his
What
element.
does that mean? I guess because all of his other bubbles had farts. That's
Yeah,
cool.
exactly.
Cool fart
That's just-
detail. I thought you just said like Squidward. I thought you meant like Squidward is like innately fart based or something.
That's his signature.
Yeah, that's where they're gonna take his character going forward, like Smash Wario.
I hate Squidware and how it ruins Squidward's character.
Squidland was so much better. So, is it time we rate this episode?
Hmm.
I'd say so. I don't know why I said that like Milo Murphy. I think we all like had pretty much the same thoughts about this episode.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I put it down as a 4 out of 7. I thought it was generally charming and cute, but also, yeah, a lot of jokes kind of drag on really long or get reused throughout the episode. I'd definitely say that of all the episodes so far, this one suffered the most from its pacing to me. But
Mhm.
again, it is still funny and cute and stuff, and I like it all around.
Yeah.
I'm just not, like, in love with it.
Fair.
But it is fun to just see them sort of figuring out the formula and stuff. Figuring out the technique for making a top-notch SpongeBob episode.
The technique?
Technique.
Technique.
The pelvic woo.
That's what they do
think
every time
the
they like storyboard the episode. Is the artist like picks up a pencil and starts like, then you do this and a little of that.
Yeah. That's why the
The
newer
issue with
episodes
this
aren't good.
episode is... Yeah, the issue with this episode is they stopped on their pie footage.
You can't
instead of
can't
their right
reference
foot.
things cut from the episode.
Okay, yeah, I give this one like a 5 out of 7. It's like, it is good, it is very formative it's a very good character episode, but some jokes kind of go on for too long, and it's, but there's a lot I remember it very good. It is very fondly remembered.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 7 too. I like was smiling basically the whole time and I had fun, but like it was a very like kind of dry episode with its like pacing and like all the jokes are just kind of like, as we've said, I don't want to like belabor the point like this episode did with its jokes, you know.
Mhm.
But I like
Yeah.
love the characterization of all the characters. I love how it establishes Squidward here. It's just a really like fun, chill character writing episode, but isn't like the most like engaging episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. See, I also gave it a 4. And like we mentioned earlier, also, by the way, sorry for the sudden dip in audio quality right here. But this is just like a not as good Idiot Bots.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good bits to it, establishing Squidward, giving us some fun moments with SpongeBob, Patrick, just the three of them all together. Some fun visual stuff, but on the whole, it's not one you're really gonna quote, and it's not one you're really gonna remember unless it's been burned into your brain by like watching it 30 some odd times as a kid.
Like I did, how I got Squidward's
5 foot,
Squidward.
yeah.
But on the whole, pretty good.
Yeah.
A solid episode that will be done, that'll be improved upon later on.
Yeah, it sets up the formula. It sets up the groundwork.
And with that,
Yes.
do we think we're ready to move on to Ripped Pants?
Yes.
Do we want to do
yes.
anything in between the episode segments?
Oh yeah!
Oh, right.
So
Yeah, do we
first,
want to...
I had a plan for this in-between segment. So last week, remember when you mentioned that you weren't sure which episode titles I was bringing up were even real?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to do a little pop quiz here, except I've already mentioned this to you in the Discord chat, so like it's not a pop quiz, it's a regular quiz, but
Mm-hmm. I
I've
have not
written
studied,
here
so it's basically a pop
list
quiz.
of I've written a list of episode titles. Some of them are fake, some of them are real, and I'm going to have y'all guess which are which.
Ooh.
Okay.
I have 10 on the list for reference. So the first one is You Got a License for That?
That one's
I know
real.
that one's
I know
real because that's the
one's
episode
real.
with Flubbubber,
Yeah,
Bulletin character.
love that one. Season 8, favorite season.
I love all its quirky and memorable one-off characters, like Flubbubber, whatever his name is. Chief Flubbubber.
Okay, cool. I wanted to see if y'all could recognize that as the Chief Fubblubber episode.
How could I forget?
Can you put Flubbubber on the screen?
Hold on. I gotta get a good picture of him. Chief.
On
He's our guest for the week.
What? How do you spell it? Fublubber? What?
hold on, I'll just send. There it is. I send it there for you.
Hold on. It's in. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me put it in downloads. I'm gonna put like a visual effect on him, so he's like a ghost. He's just like, yeah. Let me just chroma key him and like.
Well, you
it's
know,
like-
this is like a rough sketch of him, but it's the only image I have on hand.
Yeah.
For some reason, the wiki uses it for his info box. But, you
Yeah.
know,
Hey,
all
it wasn't
know
a very
him. We all
interesting
know.
episode.
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
It's
I
just
remember the
He's the
flub
spirit.
blubber apparition.
There he is.
Every copy of Season 8 is personalized.
Okay, so obviously we know the status of that episode. So
Mhm.
moving on to the second on the list. Accidents will happen.
That's real.
Yeah, that is real.
Yeah.
Correct.
I
it is.
recognize that one.
It's the first episode of season 8. So more season 8 stuff.
You could probably
It
just do
has
this
another-
with season 8.
Mhm.
It has another one of those season 8 fan favorite characters where it's like something season 8 does a lot of. It introduces these characters, just these one-off characters who have these boring legal jobs.
They love legal dogs. They want to be Better Call Saul so bad.
Season 8 is such a civic season of the show,
See,
but yeah.
You think that the first season 8 character was like the lawyer from Crabs v Plankton?
Hmm.
I think he's like the
Yeah.
progenitor.
I mean, he misses out on some of the fine season 8 details, which is having a design that's simultaneously very exaggerated and completely forgettable. Like, the guy in this episode has this huge helmet and tiny body, but No one remembers him.
You know, SpongeBob was struggling for a trademark legal character since they couldn't pass the torch. Now that Lionel Hutz couldn't be on the show anymore.
You reminded me. The new SpongeBob character designs, like the one-offs and stuff, just remind me of how when they put like a celebrity in The Simpsons and it's just like a yellow human.
Yeah.
Like, it's not stylized at all. It's just...
I mean, sometimes
I'd say that's more like a season 6, 7, 8 problem.
Yeah.
But I think the later seasons definitely have their own sort of stylized.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you can sort of tell a season 11 character because they look like sort of cartoonish and rubbery and stuff.
I mean, also sometimes they add like guest star characters that are just fish people,
Yeah.
like in House Fancy.
Every time I think of a bad like mid-series design, I think about that one where it's like the orange fish with the glasses, the really detailed face, and the really long head. If you know what I'm talking about.
I am happy to announce that's another season 8 legal character.
How are there so many?
There's so many of them. Like
What's the next episode on the list?
Real character, Chief Bublubber. Let me pull up this character Randall's talking about.
We gotta get to the next episode. We can't just talk about every season 8 character. We need
Okay. We need to hurry along the rest of this list. Episode 3 on this list, the Cask of Crustiado.
This is not real.
It has to be fake because it's so funny.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, that one's fake. But I think they should do that episode. Like, I think Squidward should be like, "Hey, SpongeBob, I have Krabby Patties in my basement. Wanna see?"
Plankton would do that.
It would be the
I guess go
finale.
either way.
Well,
next
SpongeBob
one.
would have wacky fun in his bricked up underground cellar, or he could just just smash cut to the next scene and SpongeBob's just out of there and it catches Squidward off guard. Like, how the hell did he get out?
Yeah. You know, I don't. They should like have done more Poe, Poe reference episodes. Considering they had Squeaky Boots in season 1.
Anyway.
That's why they should make this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, episode 4 on the list. Ain't no party like a Squidward party.
This is not real.
That sounds too casual, so I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, that doesn't
Correct.
sound awkward enough to be a title.
Yeah.
You're doing good so far. Gullible Pants.
Oh, I know that episode. It's the one where he like throws trash all over the Krusty Krab.
Okay,
Makes a real
cool. I'm
mess of the
amazed you
joint.
remember it because it's such a forgettable episode. You
I remember
know?
because it's like the most mediocre episode of all time. There's like
It
absolutely
really
nothing
is.
to it.
I think it's like, you know that thing where something distinctly stands out as the most mediocre thing, like Quillfish from Pokemon, but then it becomes memorable because it's unmemorable?
Yeah.
Gullible Pants is that for SpongeBob.
They just
Is
need
that
to
also
introduce a
season
new regional evolution for it.
I think they did
Gullible
that in
Pants
season
sequel.
12. It's called Boss for a Day.
Oh.
Anyway, next on the list we have Maximum Minimum.
I'm gonna say that's fake. It doesn't sound like it's about anything, so I'm gonna say fake.
Yeah, fake.
Yeah.
Correct, but I do have a synopsis for it, which is it's an episode where Mr. Krabs has to pay back SpongeBob and Squidward for all the years he's been paying them below the minimum wage, and it makes them both millionaires.
Oh, that's a good one.
I
You
think
know, you
they
should write
do
for
that episode.
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Actually, I have like fake synopses for all the fake episodes at this point.
We need to
Like
review
the one
of those
from earlier
day.
is an episode where SpongeBob decides that Squidward's so miserable he should throw him a party, but Squidward's like an introvert who doesn't want to have a party.
I think the episode should like take place like entirely in like the corner of the room, and Squidward's like standing there like soy jack.
I just had a stupid idea for the next April Fools. I'm gonna cut this out of the episode, so let me put the funny eye Squidward on the screen. But I think for the next April Fools, okay.
What's
Okay,
next?
up next on the list, delivery to Monster Island.
I'm
Is
gonna
this real?
hedge my bets and say that's a little real.
There was a Flash
Monster Island
game.
seemed like a place that like season 8 would be.
There was a Flash game about a Monster Island, but I don't know if it was in the actual show.
I'm not convinced. I don't think this is real.
I don't
This
think
can't
it's
be
real.
real.
I don't think it's real.
This one is real. It's in season 13.
Oh my god.
So congrats to Gwen for that
Oh.
one.
I knew there was a Monster Island somewhere in late SpongeBob. It's exactly like they love like making like little freaks in those late seasons. So of course they'd make like a whole episode where SpongeBob was like, "I'm gonna go to the Monster Island and see all the freaky monsters
Yeah,
with
I think
grotesque
it's
designs."
like a SpongeBob Plankton team up. I've never seen it actually, so I couldn't tell you what happens in the episode.
I'm
Very
really
excited to get there in
excited.
2 years.
I'm really excited to get to the newer seasons, just because like I have no idea about some of these episodes. All right,
Okay,
next
up
one.
next on the list, we have Jolly Lodgers.
I'm gonna
That one
say
is
that's
real.
real. That sounds like it's real.
This sounds like a very SpongeBob.
It is. It's from season 12.
Yay!
Yay! You need to think of more
Chillin'
like
and
fake nautical puns.
yeah, I'll need to just brush up on my nautical puns in the near future. Got 2 more. Chillin' and Villain.
I don't think that's real.
I'm gonna say it's not real.
Yeah, it
Okay,
sounds
true.
too funny to be real.
It's fake, but and there was like 1 week where it was like one of the promotional weeks. It was the one where they aired Evil Spatula, which was Grillin' and Villain weekend. So it's
Basically canon.
but it's. I think this is an episode where like Plankton runs an evil barbecue, and
Yeah.
like nothing about the barbecue is specifically evil. It's just called an evil barbecue because Plankton's running it.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking it was like an episode where like a bunch of like the evil characters, like the Dirty Bubble and the Moth, just hang out.
Yeah,
Exactly. And the final episode of this list is Goons on the Moon.
We talked about Goons on the Moon last
Yeah.
time. I know everything about Goons on the Moon.
I can't
Do
even
you?
remember if it's real or not. Despite the fact that we talked about it.
I'm an ardent Goons on the Moon truther.
Maybe I've just been gaslighting you this whole time.
is it not real?
It's real.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw the episode card for it because they posted it on Twitter to make a funny joke.
Oh damn. Congrats then. Yeah, and that's it. That's all the episodes I have written down. I could come up with more episodes, but I don't want this to drag on for too long because we still have to talk about the Fool and Co.
Yeah, he's getting closer. We better hurry up.
The legendary fool.
Alright. So we're on Rift Pants.
Yeah.
So this episode begins with some good old French narrator dialogue that I really like. Ah, Goo Lagoon, a stinky mud puddle to you and me, but to the inhabitants of Bikini Bottom, a wonderful stinky mud puddle.
Pronounce it Mud
Love it.
Puddle. That's important to me. He says Puddle.
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 This is where we see
Puddle.
Blue Lagoon for the first time.
Yeah. Staple
Yeah,
location.
so SpongeBob and Sandy are hanging out. SpongeBob's making sand stuff.
Alright, this part is interesting to me for a few reasons. First off, he's like really mean to Squidward.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Where does the
That's
phone
something
come
that
from?
stood out to me is, well, maybe he built it earlier in the episode before the title card.
Or
I'm
maybe
still
he's a
thinking
cartoon
about how, like,
character.
you can notice it later in the episode, like, right before the song, it's still there, the phone is there.
Yeah.
Continuity.
But yeah, SpongeBob's so mean to Squidward.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, you think he's, like, so innocent and naive and, like, loves Squidward, but here he's just, like... Does he have, like, resentment?
Here's the way I see it. Like, this is a big time Straight Bob episode, and I think he's doing the thing here where, like, in order to, like, impress a girl he likes, he's trying to take down someone else.
Oh, it's toxic masculinity. He's, like,
Yeah,
taking down the gay man because he thinks it'll impress Sandy.
it's like, hey Sandy, what if I made fun of this gay guy over here?
He doesn't realize
I-
that Sandy is a bisexual butch.
I really want to bring up the fish swimming in the water. Like, let me post a
This
timestamp link.
is the guy
in
who, like,
live
jumps
chat.
up and down.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, we noticed that too. when
Yeah,
I
in
was
the
watching with my
background here.
girlfriend.
just the...
It's a really good
then,
thumbnail, by
like-
the way. Can you post the thumbnail for the video too?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, let me put this in the yeah. This will be the first image of the collage.
You just rip your pants during silent reading time?
So then Big Larry shows up just to put him down, except I don't think he really shows up just to put SpongeBob down. Big
No,
Larry
but
is
SpongeBob
like,
does
No!
act like it.
No,
Very
SpongeBob
nice,
he
just
does
hates it.
act like it. SpongeBob hates Larry
I
in
love
this
Sp-
episode.
It's so
It
funny.
kind of caught me off guard. Like,
Look, I'm just like Sally seething and molding in the background whenever Larry does anything. It's so funny. It's so
Yeah.
like out of character.
and Larry's just like, "Hey, want to go lift some weights?"
Can we
It's
talk
like-
about Larry for a bit?
Yeah.
We can't talk about Larry because this is his first appearance on the show.
Larry is so interesting to me because he's like the only like true like tertiary character I think for like most of SpongeBob. Where he's not like he's like a tier below like Pearl and Mrs. Puff, but he's like above like the unnamed recurring background characters. He's above like
mean, he's
Scooter,
above-
who is also in this
he's
episode.
like- He's like with Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy and the Flying Dutchman and stuff, but they're all weird supernatural characters.
Yeah, they're like
They're
event characters who have episodes about them. Larry's just some guy.
Yeah,
Larry's just
Yeah,
some
Larry's
some
like-
big himbo.
yeah.
Like later down the line, Bubble Bass also kind of gets that status, but
Yeah, we're ways off from that.
I want
Yeah.
to bring up, who is this? What is he? Is he?
I noticed him too.
Oh, that
all the
guy's
other like
whale
buff
shark.
guys. All the other
Yeah.
buff guys on the beach are like recurring buff guys they use a lot, especially like
But that
the
guy
big
is,
brown
like-
one. But this guy's just who is
Yeah.
he?
yeah, I can
I
tell
don't think
he's a
we-
whale shark, but they don't
think he,
really
like-
use him much.
He like dies after this episode or something. I don't know where he went.
I
Maybe-
think they brought him back pretty recently because of course they did. But
course.
that's like that happens in like I feel like whenever we point out some weird oddity from an early episode, it's like, oh yeah, they brought that back in season 13 for some
Yeah, it's what-
reason.
That's because the writers of those seasons were like millennials who grew up with the show and like are obsessed with every aspect of it
Yeah.
and want to like
Yeah, like
reference
they
everything.
brought back the weird naked fish from Pickles, who's like, "Hey, look, SpongeBob's back."
Well, I love that guy, so you know.
I just want to say with Larry, I'm a little bit on Larry watch because he's such like an infrequent, weird character. He's like a bit of
Yeah.
like under the radar. That I want to like pay special attention to him.
He's so
Love
cool.
Larry.
That's fair because I don't think they're the most consistent about his characterization. Like, they know he's buff and fit and stuff, but like, the exact specifics of him can sort of change on an episode to episode basis.
Yeah. He's just generally, in general, he's like the cool guy who's buff.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Like-
to get to his first focus episode in like 5 years.
Something that I also kind of made note of is this the first Mr. Lawrence voice in the show?
Oh, it might be actually.
It might be.
Is
yeah.
it? Because yeah, we
Like-
haven't seen Plankton yet. No, it's just
This
Yeah,
is
I think this is the premiere for Mr. Lawrence.
AU where like Larry became the big breakout star who became a main character and Plankton was just like a weird tertiary character.
If only.
If only.
Larry becomes the villain. Just as SpongeBob sees him.
This is like the AU where like they keep up with the sponge sand shit, and he's like, it's like a big love triangle.
It's like we get to a season 14 episode, and SpongeBob's like, "You see, Larry, I have made an image depicting you as the Soy Jack and me as the Chad."
That's this whole episode. Hey, let's talk about the weightlifting competition.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I noticed is I really like the jazzy music they play on Muscle Beach, which the more I think about it, isn't a location they use much. And get ready to hear this. They use it like in a couple episodes in season 1 and again in season 11 because of course.
Yeah.
And then the music that plays in this scene, they also use a couple times in season 1 and again in season 11.
Just going back into the archives. This is ring theory.
This is like the Crash Bandicoot people for their racing game, bringing back literally every character that's ever existed in the series.
I was like, can we talk about? There's one like rando in the stands I want to talk about. The like lady fish with the hair.
Yeah, the one that does the whistle.
Yeah, what's with her?
What I want to know is, like, if these guys is this like a competition, or are they just like lifting on the beach? And if they're just lifting on the beach, why is there a crowd just sitting there like gawking at them?
I never really thought about that. It's just like, I guess it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's like, I don't want to get too crass here, but maybe it's a sex thing.
I mean,
Very
that's
true.
where my mind was gonna jump to anyway, so don't worry about it.
They're just showing off for the crowd.
Yeah.
We also get to see a really good background character, Don the Whale. I love Don the Whale. He rarely ever shows up, but he's a really fun one.
Can we?
Yeah.
I just realized where we're at. Can we please talk about guy?
Oh, yes,
Talk
yes.
about guy. Mm.
This guy's like the star of this episode.
I love him.
He has like the marshmallows he's eating look so disgusting.
Yeah.
He's the only thing important here.
Actually, the more I think about this, just because we're spending so much time talking about all the incidentals here, this is the first episode with like a really significant incidental cast. Like, I think a lot of them make their first appearances here because a couple of them show up in Reef Blower and you have the anchovies and Help Wanted, but besides that, we haven't really gotten them at all.
This is the big coming out episode for the Bikini Bottomites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to touch back on the marshmallow fish again. How do you eat marshmallows in such a way that it leaves things on your face? Marshmallows don't do that.
It's disgusting. He's like liquefying these marshmallows.
And why are you roasting marshmallows during the day?
Guy's fucked up.
God.
Alright, so SpongeBob tries to lift his marshmallow weight and he rips his pants.
Yeah.
This whole episode,
everyone laughs at him and he feels so ashamed. So sad.
Until his best buddy, Scooter, shows up.
Yeah.
And Scooter's "Wow, you are one funny dude." It means to talk about Scooter.
I love Scooter so much.
I wanted to... Scooter is like, how much do they even use Scooter past these first few seasons? Because I feel like...
I think he
they
died.
don't use...
He like falls off really hard.
Yeah, and I think that's a pity because I think he's a great character. And, you know, since they're bringing back all these obscure old characters to give them some time in the spotlight, I'm a little amazed they haven't promoted Scooter to one of the more frequently used side characters.
Like, why
like
they
brought
promoting...
back...
Sorry.
Like, they've promoted Fred, they've promoted Bubble Bass, they should promote Scooter next, I think.
Why they promote Bubble Bass, who's just like that fucking guy, but they don't promote Scooter, beloved guy who's SpongeBob's best friend in this episode.
Yeah.
So
See,
true.
Scooter had a lot of presence in the first 3 seasons. He was at SpongeBob's house party. We watched him die. We
We
Yeah.
did
got
watch
a lot
him
of time
die.
with Scooter.
I love him because he's just such like a beacon of joy. He's just like, yo, dude, this is gnarly. He's just down for anything and having a great time.
Yeah.
He'd be
They
such
should
a
have
good
used him more.
positive presence on the show. I'm a Scooter fan and I'm on Scooter Watch now.
He should have been in the
Yeah.
main cast. He brings such an energy that nobody else does.
Yeah. I feel sort of how I feel about him as how I feel with Otto on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Scooter spotlight episode that kills his presence in the show.
Yeah. It's like only like 2/3 of it is about Scooter.
I'm so
I like-
excited for season 14's The Scooter Show.
I like this
and-
incidental who's got like stuff on his nose.
That
What's
is his
guy?
nose.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's gross. We get like purple fish with a hat. We get like girl green fish with a bikini.
Oh my god, I just noticed this guy. He's got like a Larry sign. That's cool.
And something I kind of want to bring up, backpedaling back to when SpongeBob was trying to lift the thing. It's kind of hinted that Larry doesn't like SpongeBob either because he's looking at him like, oh, this fucking piece of shit right here.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sandy is like the only one who's like into this.
Yeah, like Larry's being super condescending.
Yeah, like
I
SpongeBob
guess
goes
Big
to.
Larry did come around just to put him down.
Yeah, maybe he was
SpongeBob
like trying to be like
goes-
passive aggressive. Maybe it's some like Shion Sonozaki shit. I'm saying that for Hannah to laugh at.
SpongeBob goes to get the volleyball, and Larry just fucking makes this face.
Really good face.
It's like, what?
Larry gets all the good faces in this episode.
I mean, he's like at all of them. But we'll get to that.
There's something else I wanted to bring up. Like this whole episode is just one big fringe compilation for SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I like, really love the way this episode is paced. I think it does really good at like it establishes the thing, establishes that people like find it funny. Then we get the scene with him buying the ice cream. It establishes that it's like getting old, and it just goes to him like running around, doing like jokes that are barely jokes anymore. And then we get like the climax where he loses everyone's faith. I feel like the way the episode is set up, it could have been just like it could have been a lot less organized, but it feels like not only is it like an episode where they just like do a bunch of really good gags around a central theme, it's like it has a really good progression to those gags.
I'll
Yeah.
say that this is probably the first episode to have like rock solid pacing out of the
Yeah.
whole thing we've done. Just like
Yeah.
10 out of 10 pacing.
Yeah, I want to say this episode feels like if it wasn't for like how weird the like Sandy stuff is, which I guess I'll touch on later, it like
Yeah.
would feel like such a like
Yeah.
it would be so surprising it's such an early episode because it's so like well put together.
Yeah.
Really
Like,
is.
the Sandy stuff is sort of a dead giveaway. This is an early season 1 episode, but besides that, if they put this in, like, I could see this as, like, a season 2 episode. And I know
Yeah.
that's not too much later, but
It's
I
like-
feel like you can sort of see the style of the show evolve from season 1 to 2 to 3.
Yeah, for sure. It's like a light year away, basically.
Yeah.
And I've also noticed if I had to knock this episode on one thing, it's the same thing I knocked Tea at the Tree Dome for, is that
Mhm.
they don't give Sandy a lot to do in this episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's especially notable here because this episode's a lot more like active. Sandy's kind of just like the passive girl character who exists to like be the object of SpongeBob's affections, and then like tell him when he fucks up, and then like support him when he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is another one of those notable Sandbob episodes, the ones that hits you right in the feels.
Yeah.
My hats.
All right, so
I gotta.
what happens next?
Well, there's like the volleyball and the frisbee, and then we get to the ice cream. Because I don't
Yes,
think there's much
the
to talk
ice
about the
cream.
volleyball and the frisbee because they're just continuing the theme. So we get the ice cream guy.
Now I don't
Hee hee.
read this as the joke getting old. I just read this as like an average customer service experience right here. Like I work as a cashier. There are people they'll try out their bits on you.
Oh yeah,
And
no, I
they're just-
get it.
They are just as good as what SpongeBob is doing here.
I mean, it at least establishes that like people aren't always gonna love these jokes. And then I fucking love Ice Cream Guy so much. He's such a good like deadpan foil to SpongeBob here. He just isn't having any of it.
Yeah, I love this frame.
I love it whenever in SpongeBob there's just like a straight man type character, just like an incidental that knocks him down a peg, but
Yeah.
SpongeBob doesn't realize it.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah.
He.
How about Ripple? That's always been a line that I've thought back to.
Mm-hmm.
And
Always a
like,
good
I think
one.
we see this jaded ice cream guy in because I was just remembering that it's the same dude in Party Pooper Pants.
Yeah, it's the same
Yeah,
guy.
is it
who
Lou
works-
from the Bargain Mart?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's this reoccurring depressed customer service guy.
He's the squeaky voiced teen from The Simpsons of this show.
He's like the squeaky voiced teen after like 2 decades of alcoholism.
I want to know his story. I want to know about that about the ice cream guy. What brought him here?
Yeah, when's he gonna
How
like
his
become
life's
promoted
going.
too? He deserves it.
Gets a spotlight episode in season 14.
I love Burger Guy.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the guy who he gets a lot of. He's like one of the most prominent incidentals as the show goes on.
Yeah,
Why,
this
yes,
guy's
it is.
is a
What?
real serial shit stir as the show goes on.
Yeah,
And I noted this down in my notes, but like when he's whispering to the guy, SpongeBob gets like lip hair or something. Like
What
SpongeBob
the
doesn't have
fuck?
hair.
he gets like
Or
lip
does he?
hair.
Ripped ass.
I like this joke because it's also like the catalyst for his downfall. Because it's like not even a joke. He's just saying "ripped pants" to a random person.
It's like spouting meme buzzwords on the internet. But
He's like, you know what would go
It's
good with
like
that burger?
going Garten of
Jumbo
Van
Josh.
Backrooms Jumbo Josh.
see the difference here. This is why this episode isn't realistic, because he's not laughing at that. See, if SpongeBob did hypothetically say funny Garten of Van humor, he'd be busting a gut.
Yeah.
Can we also talk about the octopus fry cook?
Yeah.
That guy's fucking awesome. He doesn't like say anything or do anything, but he's so fucking cool.
I will never forget his
He's not
just like
really an octopus, though. He seems to be another fish, I think.
I always thought of him as an octopus, but I guess I never really looked at
you're
him.
thinking you're thinking back to
Oh.
a different character from a different episode. The
Yeah,
the
in
hot
Walking
dog
Small.
stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I will
Uh,
never forget about this character is just his completely disgusted. Oh.
Oh. So then we cut to a shot of the beach.
I'm not gonna. Sorry, I'm not gonna.
Huh?
I'm gonna be honest. I'd probably laugh at the 20 cases of ripped pants if someone did that to me.
Yeah.
It's solid.
Oh,
It's subversive.
Oh wait, also Hannah brought this up to me. I want to bring it up. I want to posit a theory. Is Ugg guy, could he possibly be like the fry cook at the Krusty Krab before SpongeBob?
Oh.
'Cause he's like one of
Oh,
the
you
few other
think?
fry cooks we see.
Yeah, I had that
Huh.
in my notes that there's just somebody else in this town that's making burgers.
Huh.
Yeah.
Are they as good
Uh.
as the Krabby Patties?
Oh.
Do you think
I
like
mean,
the Goo
probably
Lagoon
not.
pays better?
It has to.
Probably.
Probably.
It's not run by Mr.
I
Krabs.
wonder who like employs like Larry and this guy.
Anyway, so we cut to the beach, the surfing place, and there's a like Smash Bros announcer in his
Yeah,
little
they-
tower.
We
The
get the idea
announcer
of Perk
like-
Perkins.
This is
That's
like
Not Perch
Proto
Perkins.
Perch Perkins. It's
Yeah.
not Perch Perkins. Perch Perkins looks a little different, but it's like
The
the
concept of Perk
character that
Perkins.
would evolve into Perch Perkins.
And yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is just the announcer incidental that they have in a few other episodes.
I want to
Mhm.
bring up that during this scene, like the fish in the distance on the beach, they're just painted, like they're just like dolls.
That's so pretty. I wish I had
They
these.
are.
I want to like line them up on like a table.
Yeah.
You know what I want to point out this guy is that his tongue is fucking disgusting.
I
Yeah.
hate his song. It is the worst thing.
It's the worst part of this episode.
Hold on, I just got a really good screenshot of a
It's
surfer guy.
all shriveled and weird looking, and it just like protrudes from the bottom of his mouth.
Well, this guy goes the fuck off.
I love him.
Popsicle man.
Yeah, I hate this guy's tongue.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
And now
I'm
the
so
guy's the first
glad
guy who like
Kurt Perkins got his facelift and shit in season 4.
so disgusting Perch Perkins tongue man, like is the first like real sign that like the general public is like tired of the pants ripping jokes because he's like ripping his pants again. We know that people are aware that this is a bit that is dead, and suddenly SpongeBob the wave crashes on him and he lands on the beach, and then we get like the
That's
actual
a
best
guy!
part of the episode.
I love the lifeguard. I love every incidental in this episode
It's
because
so-
they all just like go the fuck off.
This episode has really good
Yeah.
incidentals.
I wanna
Lifeguard
give
is
a
such
shout out
classic.
to
Everything
how,
he
like-
says is. I'm trying to talk about Lifeguard. I love the Lifeguard.
Yeah.
Everything he says is so funny.
Yeah. A
love
note I
his
have
run.
about the lifeguard is like his official dance on the model sheet is just his running animation for some reason.
It
Yes.
does like a
Like,
really
it's
good
that
frame of
exact
animation. It's so good.
The look on his face when he's running away. That's like I hope
Cardboard?
whoever drew that got a raise.
I love also it's like
Oh,
when he like everything he says like when SpongeBob watches up he's just so happy when he says a cardboard what blocks is washed up on the beach, and then he's like
It's a
realizes
guy.
that's a guy.
I
He's so like he
I
just goes
put
right
that
from
down
being like the
in
most
my-
chipper guy to being so overdramatic.
Yeah. Shout out to the light. Honestly, yeah. This is such a good Bikini Bottomites episode.
Yeah, they definitely started off strong.
And we
And-
can't
and then,
forget
like-
his like looking at the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so basically SpongeBob fakes a tragedy for views and nobody's into it.
Yeah.
Wasn't funny, SpongeBob.
It's like another thing I like about the lifeguard character. It's just like you feel the emotion when he thinks that he lost this guy, that
Yeah,
he's just dead.
his voice acting is so raw.
What do you
So
need?
raw, so honest.
Does he even like say anything after SpongeBob like reveals the joke, or does he just walk away?
I
He-
think
I
he
think he
just
just
walks
quits his
away.
job.
He just like glares at
does
the
this.
audience and walks away. He needs to
Yeah.
post a face. It's like
Yeah, hold on. Let me get it. There we go.
it's like top 10 like facial expressions in season 1.
Yeah.
So true.
And we've got the other 9 on the collage right now.
But we also have the bottom 10 Birch Perkins prototypes weird tongue.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
all of the bottom 10 is every frame he's in.
Could that be the
so
worst
I
part of this
wanna-
entire show? I think so.
I want to point out, like, when they're all, like, dispersing, there's, like, a crowd of people who just, like, perfectly face forward. They look so weird how they're animating. They just, like, bob
like-
in place for a while. They're like the choir.
They're the Greek
I-
chorus.
I want to say
There's a
one of the
later
most
SpongeBob episode with an actual Greek chorus.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
Weezer.
short, right?
No, it's a full-length episode.
Oh.
It's in season 10.
I know what you're talking
I-
about. It's like the Shy Guys, right? And the funny, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, SpongeBob fakes dying, and
Wait, what are you saying, Randall?
Skipper's like, dude.
Randall, what
Oh,
are
I
you
was
trying
just
to
gonna
say?
I was just gonna say the way that you cut those 4 fish on the collage, it's just Weezer right there.
I need to talk more about Scooter.
You're right, Scooter,
Yes.
that's his name. Dude.
Dude.
Really, is like I love how he's like this episode is supposed to be about SpongeBob and Sandy's relationship and how like SpongeBob wants to impress Sandy, but like Scooter is like the real like He's like the real like link to SpongeBob. He like shows up whenever SpongeBob makes a joke. It's like, "You have done it again, dude." And then like in this point, when the final like sign that SpongeBob has lost it all is that Scooter's like, "Dude."
Yeah.
If I disappointed Scooter, I think I'd just end it all, frankly.
I love the aerial shot of like the tent.
Yeah, he
Like,
goes to the
where he's,
evil
like-
therapy tent.
Yeah, he's in the funny tent. Yeah, he's
Posted
in
it
like
on the
the
Twitter.
dressing room.
It's a very like stylistic shot, but I also
Yeah.
like it
Oh,
because it reminds me.
Yeah, let me put
Scooter's
this on the
disappointed,
screen.
but so is Sandy. And this is where we get the Sandbob angst, hurt, comfort part of this episode.
Yeah.
God, I just realized a hurt comfort episode.
So yeah, he goes out into the sand, and he's trying to like comfort people, and he rips off his pants, and he's like, "Oh, where did we go wrong?" or whatever.
We
and
blew
then
it, pants.
His
He
pants.
tries to do a new bit where he rips his pants off, but it doesn't. No one's
Yeah.
having it. It's like, "We blew our pants." And his pants like,
Who do you mean we? Yeah.
Yeah.
There-
I think that's really
completely
easy to forget
forgot
about,
that
so a sucker
joke.
punches you.
Yeah.
that is like nothing like this has happened in any of the previous episodes where there's just like a talking inanimate object.
It's yeah.
I think he
it kinda
just
becomes a
brings
staple
life to
SpongeBob
things.
joke. It kind of goes on to be a staple SpongeBob joke, I guess, but this is like
Yeah.
the first instance. And it like comes out of nowhere, and it's so good.
It's
It
so
just like
good.
fully forms and walks away.
I love SpongeBob just desperately trying to reinvent his bit without like.
He's chasing Cloud again, but nobody's going for it.
And
It's
then
such
like
a
Yeah.
user episode.
he's like, am I the biggest loser on the beach or whatever? And then like he like summons these people by saying this.
The like,
like,
quirky
show up.
ensemble cast.
Yeah.
He summons
like
his
these-
RPG party.
Yeah.
I love the whale who's like, "They forgot me."
I wish this whale showed up more. I love this guy.
God,
so funny.
same. How long do you think he was there for?
Like 50 years.
Yeah,
I-
that's
I-
the impression I got.
I, think
I like the
Larry
theory
put him
that they're
there.
like dead.
like
This
dead.
is the
Because
afterlife.
they're like
This
they're
is
just
fun-
here. Like how long have they been here? They're all three of them are just here.
This is SpongeBob having like, what's it called? Where?
A seance?
Yeah, he's like communicating with the dead,
He's
but
like-
all the dead are like losers.
I mean,
This is just like Yokai Watch.
he's on the brink of death and he's seeing all the dead around him and he's like,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to end up like you. It's like a
Alright.
damn Christmas carol or something.
So, what happens next? We need to. Oh, right, the phone. The phone's back. Yeah, let me take it. Here we go. There's the phone.
I don't
Hey,
think the phone
before-
is the important part of this scene.
No,
Go
yeah,
off.
but like, I don't know.
Before we move on, can I just bring up how like the absence of Patrick is kind of felt in this episode? Did they just not invite him?
Yeah, like I feel like they could have
Yeah.
replaced Scooter with Patrick, but no, they had Scooter be here.
I'm glad they. I'm
Oh,
glad
that's
they didn't.
true.
I'm glad they didn't because Scooter is like worth his weight in gold.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess
Oh, yeah.
if they had Patrick, they would have felt like they had to have like SpongeBob hanging out with Patrick and Sandy, and that would have been too much. But who knows? It's not like later he's just shy away from having Patrick just show up randomly.
He gets in the way
Yeah.
of the ship.
Yeah. Anyway, they sing the
So-
song.
Yeah, yeah. When Big Larry came. Ah, what is that? No,
Oh my goodness! Who's
Get
this?
off,
Who's
get
this
off.
character?
Get,
Who's this
go.
foolish-looking
go.
character?
Hold on, I gotta change his fucking filtering so he's like. Yeah, there we go.
You can see Crisp.
Oh my god, so retro!
Yeah. This is the Fool. So we need to talk about the Fool. maybe after the episode. Maybe we leave him just off to
Yeah.
the side here. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
just
I feel like we should like finish talking about the story.
yeah.
'Cause I think
Okay.
this episode ends in a very interesting way, in that like, if you think about it, it's kind of like a complete nonsense ending.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah.
like suddenly starts singing a song, and it becomes like a big musical number with like it's like really like grandiose. There's like a whole stage and instruments and a whole audience out of nowhere, made out of sand. And
Yeah,
like,
they
Sandy's like,
a blimp.
they have a
Yeah.
blimp.
They get brought into the pants room dimension for the song.
They kind of do.
And
then like Sandy
this
shows up
whole-
like, your song was right, SpongeBob. You really did just need to be yourself. And then Larry's like, I respect you now, SpongeBob. It's
Yeah,
like,
like,
it really
what
just
is
like
his
the whole episode
ending?
just like gets resolved because he sings a song. And like objectively, it's a very like weird, like unsatisfying ending if you look at it from like a plot perspective. But it's also like such a fun ending and such a memorable song. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very. I kind of think it doesn't really make the episode worse. I just think it's very silly.
How
do-
good the
Yeah.
song ends distracts you from how weird and rushed and like nonsensical the ending is.
I do like how he has like a different singing voice. It's like the Donkey Kong Country cartoon, where DK
It's still
has like
Tom
a different
Kenny,
singing.
isn't it?
Is it?
It's
I
not
think it-
Tom Kenny. I
Yeah,
looked
it's
I
it
don't
up
not.
think it's
recently.
Tom Kenny.
Yeah,
I
I know
thought it
how
was
Tom
just-
Kenny sounds like when he sings.
I thought it was just Tom Kenny doing like another affliction on his voice there, or however you say that. So he
I
gets
think it's
done
just the
singing the
guy.
Sandbob anthem.
I do
So,
want to point out that
Actually,
his microphone is like photorealistic. It's like scanned in.
Yes, I was wondering if that was just like a
It's only
fuck
in
up on the
some
DVD.
shots. Like only in some shots is it like that. But when he's at like an angle, it is like properly drawn in. Like let me get examples of both. So here,
I thought it was just a fuck up on my DVD.
yeah, here's the drawn in one, and here is the like photo scan. Like, I don't. SpongeBob.
What's the
Everything's
mysterious
chrome
noise?
in the future. I like that.
I mean, so like something I was gonna bring up was how the song sort of frames Larry as showing up just to make things worse for SpongeBob.
And then SpongeBob
Came
turns
around
into a
just to
clown.
put him down, and like I think that throughout this, like how you pointed out Larry's expressions, makes me buy that narrative a little more, but I don't know. I still sort of feel like SpongeBob's an unreliable narrator.
Yeah, I feel like he's projecting his insecurities onto Larry.
I just
It's like-
realized
Yeah.
how. I just realized how big SpongeBob is here compared to like. I don't think he's supposed to be that big, but like. Yeah.
Maybe they're just very small.
Yeah, they're
This
just very
whole
small.
song reads like SpongeBob making an r/am I the asshole.
A little bit.
Yeah, he's that person who like went on YouTube to make like a guitar ukulele apology video.
Ukulele apology video. He also forms like an 80s Hanna-Barbera cartoon band to do it.
Yeah.
And,
I
and
like
something
how.
I really
Go ahead.
okay, good. I was just gonna say, when Larry's like, "That was so righteous. Can you sign my pants?" He gives SpongeBob a pencil. How is he gonna do that with a pencil?
Oh yeah, I forgot the episode. Like the final beat is SpongeBob's underpants fly off and he blushes, and then the episode ends. Someone whistles at him. You know.
Wait, who is
Oh.
this? Hold on. Who are you? Wait.
I didn't know which one you were talking about. All of them are like, who
Yeah.
the hell are you?
There's
Yeah,
like
hold on.
5 of those.
I
you
was
can zoom
seeing-
in on.
I was seeing the fin at the top as like someone behind him, and that was like a cut in his head, and so he had like a. Yeah, whatever.
This image that fish right there. He looks, and I don't know if it's like if anybody else sees it. He looks vaguely Homer Simpson-esque.
He does.
And how his eyes are drawn, and how his mouth is drawn.
A little bit. I mean, like the one in the bottom left corner with it's like very wide, has
Oh,
tiny
yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
What's her story? Oh my god, that like fits perfectly. Anyway. Anything else we want to talk about with the story?
No, I think we covered all our bases.
Alright, do you want to move on to rankings or do you want to talk about the Fool?
Let's do rankings first.
The Fool can be our ender.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so I think that this is probably the strongest episode thus far.
For
I
sure.
am like, I put it down as a 7 out of 7, and I'm not quite sure about that anymore, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna bump mine down to a 6, but I
Me
still
too.
think that it's a very strong episode.
Yeah.
There's
Mhm.
definitely a little bit of that early installment weirdness with how, like, Sandy's handled and how the plot doesn't exactly resolve itself in the best way, but it's very well paced. It's a pretty funny episode. The song's fun and memorable. Like, I think it hits all the right beats. I think this is a certified classic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think 6 out of 7, but like only just because the ending is a bit weird. But otherwise, it's just very, very classic SpongeBob. Like, probably one of the best season 1 episodes, I would say, at least the early ones.
For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What ranking would you give it out of 7?
6.
Alright. Yeah, I also gave it a 6 out of 7. I like basically agree with everything like that has been said. It's a very strong episode. It's very consistently funny. All the like minor characters are very well used. It's very like well
Yeah.
paced and the progresses really well. The song is incredibly like memorable and charming. It's just an incredibly fun cartoon episode that like loses a point for me mainly because of Sandy being like incredibly like basic girl character here.
Yeah. I'm excited for later episodes that, like, properly use her.
Mm-hmm. Well, it hurts to become like the Joker.
I also gave this a 6 out of 7. It's probably the most consistently funny episode we've had so far. Very well paced. Introduced a lot of fun side characters, ones that become staples going forward. A lot of memorable bits. It's entertaining all around, and just the added layer of something we never see going forward of SpongeBob like just being a petty, jealous sort of person
Yeah,
towards
he's
like
flawed. Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah, I like episodes that let SpongeBob be a bit flawed.
and it's this is definitely the best one we've done so far, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's all I gotta say about it. But now,
Well, what could we possibly have left to talk about?
SpongeBob volleyball. Woo,
what?
woo, woo. I don't. No. uh. I don't
This
know how to
There's
introduce this
wine
guy.
enough
this
for
broadcast
everyone.
presenting the Fool.
Who wants to introduce the Fool?
I feel like you should, because you were the one who like
yeah.
told us about the Fool, and you have the DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I want to bring this guy up because this image of Mr. Krabs without a nose and without eyelashes, he's a bit pixelated because I got this from the Discord emote. I don't know where the raw image is, but he originated from the season 1 box set I have of SpongeBob on disc 3. They have like karaoke versions of all the songs. And you know how there will always, like in like kids show like karaoke things, there will always be like a ball that like hops along the lyrics, like ba, 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 ba. So they have that, but it's just the weird JPEG of Mr. Krabs doing it. Like, it's so inexplicable. Why do they... What?
Not
Like,
only
He's
that,
bigger than
something
the
important
text
to
and everything.
yeah, he is
Yeah, he's
unnecessarily
giant.
large.
Yeah,
Takes up,
let
like,
me
so much of the screen.
see if I can get a picture of him before,
There's one
without...
in the live chat channel.
Yeah, hold on. There we go. Okay, there he is. The Fool 2. There we go. Put him on screen. Yeah.
Yeah!
And so that's how big he is compared to the lyrics. He's just that big. And as you can see, yeah, he doesn't have any, like, eyelashes or nose.
Mangled him.
He's the Fool.
Also, we
It
call him
makes
the
him his
Fool
own
because of
original
this
character.
image where he's
Yeah.
at the line where they say the Fool.
Yeah. And I've got...
And
Yeah.
like, why is it Mr. Krabs? Why is it a stock image of Mr. Krabs? They're using as like
What?
the bouncing ball to follow
What
the
they-
karaoke text here.
When they edit it,
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
Like, it's so
It's
bizarre.
bizarre. There's like one part in like the like sing along where he like just like bounces all over the place. It's like it's like
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
he
happens.
across the screen.
That happens in a later season 1 episode song. We'll have to bring him up again when that happens.
Yeah.
But basically
yeah.
slips on a banana peel and just flies off of the screen.
Yeah, he only touches like one word in the sentence.
World's
Such a
most
bizarre,
useless syllable tracker.
He's not like a syllable tracker. He's more of a like demon of chaos.
Yeah.
They have not tamed him.
Mhm.
He's a fool.
He is the Fool. Alright.
But he's our fool, frankly.
Yeah.
He's part of the
And we love
family.
him.
Mhm.
He's our other mascot aside from the moth.
Yeah.
Is that Scooter in the background, by the way?
It wasn't meant to be, but like I just thought, hey, I'll put a funny fish guy in the background.
To me, that's Scooter.
Yeah.
That
it's
could be Scooter.
Yeah, let's like add like other characters milling around in the background each episode. Like add like the moth in there, add like Scooter, maybe Jumbo Josh.
But yeah, I really want to go
So
through
true.
more. I want to go through more of my DVD collection of like the SpongeBob ones with you guys because I didn't even know the non ripped pants song had Mr. Krabs in it or the Fool in it until today, like right before the session started, and we were going through the DVD.
As we go through more of the season and we see more of the songs, we can like explain which ones are full sightings because it's more than just ripped pants. There's
Yeah.
a few songs that have the Fool in them.
He's in the SpongeBob theme song too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
and
really, the fool is with us in every episode, and for that we are grateful.
I just want to bring up real quick about the SpongeBob theme karaoke thing. The captain going, "Are you ready, kids?" And then like the silent O as the subtitle comes across the screen, and like everything but the song instrumental just dies out.
It's so good. I'll try and splice that in post right at the end here. That'll be our ending clip.
All right.
All right.
Well, good night, everybody.
Yeah, bye everybody. I see you next week.
Wait,
oh no, actually.
What are we reviewing? What are we reviewing next time?
We are reviewing jellyfishing and plankton.
Oh, we get a funny
finally
little
moved
fella. Funny little fella
Yeah,
coming
plankton,
soon.
the episode that introduces Bubble Bass.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah.
Beloved character.
What was
That's
I
been
gonna
this
say?
episode.
God, what was I gonna say? Yeah, that's been all from us for this week. Next week we may be taking a break because I am having a dentist appointment. But we'll be back.
We'll see what happens.
At some point. We'll switch up the days and stuff. It probably won't even matter.
We hope
but
you
yeah.
enjoyed the final episode of the Krusty Cast, everybody.
Yeah, I am going to my death next week.
Yep.
We'll
Enjoy.
Oh,
Cast
well.
series
These other
finale. I hope
Urchins.
you enjoyed.
we will be holding auditions for a replacement Maddie after next week.
We will be holding up the Fool for auction next week at the local auction house.
No! We can't do that to him!
Okay, should we end it?
Yeah.
Okay.